This is part 2, I'll call it, of a video I posted last week about walking and running exercises. I was on the treadmill and a lot of useful information. Now I have brought myself outside just to show you how to do this kind of stuff outside. I broke it down into 4 different walks, 4 different ways. So you can choose one of 4 different walks: forwards, backwards, sideways, and then a sideways crossover. That's the 4 different walks you can choose from. Because when you're moving the body in different ways, you train the muscles differently and you'll get faster progress. 4 different walks. Now the 4 different ways, first one is regular, like I just showed you. The second one is to include stretching while you're walking. There's many different stretches you can do. Please refer to the first video I made called Walking and Running Exercises. The third thing you can do is you can add a weight. Here I have a 6 kilogram weight. It's a stone that I found in the garden as I was digging. I painted it, I weighed it, and it's about 6 kilos. So I'll use something like this for these different exercises. And what I'm talking about specifically is raising your arm above your head because you're forcing the heart to have to work harder, because now it has to pump 1 meter, more or less, against gravity to get blood up to my hand. So the heart has to work harder. And you can maybe see my arm is moving because now all these muscles on this side of my body have to work to hold up this weight. And the other thing is that the opposite flank, so I have the weight in my right hand, so my left flank has to work harder to balance out this imbalance that I have on my right side. So adding a weight will increase the level of exercise, and you would do it all the 4 ways of walking: forwards, backwards, sideways, and with the crossover. And you'll obviously want to balance everything out, so whatever you do with the weight in your right hand, you'll do it with the weight in your left hand. And you also have the option of having both arms above your head, which now the heart has to work harder because now it's pumping blood all the way up into both hands. And the other ways to use a weight, so besides just holding it up here, you can walk and do a press, backwards doing the press, sideways, and with the crossover. Okay, there's 2 ways to do the press. One is just a regular shoulder press where the elbow's outside the body, and the other one you rotate the wrist, bringing the elbow much closer to the side of your body and actually touching your ribs. Another exercise you can do while walking is tricep extensions, keeping the elbows close together and just bringing the weight behind your head. All these additions is going to force your heart to have to work harder, which is one of the main reasons why we're suggested to do cardiovascular exercise. And the 4th way you can make things different is by choosing to do this by way of steps. 20 steps one way, 20 steps the other, for example. Choose what's best for you, 50 steps, whatever. And also you can choose to have it by time. If you're on a treadmill or if you're walking outside, you can time yourself 30 seconds with the arm and the weight in one hand, 30 seconds with the weight in the other hand. And the other choice you have is distance. You can choose For example, when I do this stuff outside, I go to the closest sports field, about a 5-minute bike ride, and it's 100 meters. So I'll use that as my determination of how long I do a specific movement. I'll go 100 meters, and I can switch during the 100 meters, and then I'll go 100 meters backwards, etc. Okay? So you have those choices. Just to recap, 4 different walks: forwards, backwards, sideways, crossover, 4 different ways. Just regular, doing stretching with a weight in your hand, and choosing time, step count, or distance to determine how long you do this.